What is up, YouTube? I was just, browsing and I saw this, right? Breaking. Urine test for CCW permits? Question mark, exclamation point, question mark. And I was just like, man, what? I haven't heard anything. Like, this is some shit you hear people joking around about at, like, the gun store, right? They're like, oh, dude, like, here, fill out all this paperwork and fill this out and then this, and you're like, do I need to piss in a cup too? And they're like, well, not yet, but maybe someday. And that's like along the lines of the typical joke. This is why, because this stuff has actually been talked about, specifically what's happening. And mad props to Guns and Gadgets for, like, keeping us up to date about this stuff. Great channel, check them out. They're talking about New York, right? Because of the Bruin decision, like, New York needs to be giving out CCW permits to people, and they don't want to do it. And they haven't exactly had their way because of the Supreme Court, the Bruin decision. So instead of doing the right thing, like the Supreme Court pretty much ordered them to do, they're trying to set up roadblocks to just pretty much obstruct the Supreme Court's ruling. And this is one of them. This is just absolutely insane. He's reading through one of these checklists for what you actually need in order to have a chance at getting your carry conceal weapon in New York. So here we go. Check this out. You guys want to talk about jumping through some hoops? This is nuts.
A letter that came out yesterday from the Nassau County Police Department. Wait till you hear this. Dear applicant, the pistol license section is in receipt of your request for a concealed carry pistol license. Please be advised that Section 401 of the New York State Penal Law requires applicants for any type of Nassau County pistol license to complete and submit an application to the pistol license section. All applications require an investigation by the pistol license section to determine that all statements in an application are true and that
Definitely not a county I would like to live in. Just throwing that out there real quick. I wouldn't be caught dead there.
an applicant complies with each requirement for eligibility specified in Penal Law 400, Section 1.
Wait for it, guys.
Such investigations
It gets good. Here
include,
we go.
among other things, a review of records accessible to the Division of State Police or Division of Criminal Justice Services pertaining to criminal convictions, mental health, and all other records necessary to determine an applicant's eligibility, as well as a review.
So, like, the very beginning part of this part right here is like, okay, that kind of almost sounds like what a standard background process is. But then it goes off the deep end real quick. Here it goes. This is where it gets fun.
Of other facts, as may be required to show the good character, competency, and integrity of the applicant. In furtherance of the investigation into your request for a concealed carry pistol license, please submit the following.
Just really think about that, though. Submitting that you have a good character. Like, the funny thing is, if they're making you provide something like that, they could technically turn around and say, you know what, by our criteria, you haven't proven that you're a good character, good enough character. Like, just because we didn't think that your proof was good enough, so we're going to deny you. Like, some of this stuff is just like in the eye of the beholder type deal that they could just deny you on this, or that, or this. It gets crazy. Check it out.
Items in person to the pistol license section, and wait till you hear what they have for people in New York.
Yeah, this gets
One, a
ridiculous.
notarized statement detailing whether or not you have ever been admitted to a hospital in any jurisdiction for assessment, observation, care, and or treatment of a mental illness.
Oh.
Two, a notarized statement detailing whether or not you have ever been admitted to a school in any jurisdiction for care or treatment of a developmental disability.
Sure.
The third
Yeah.
one, a notarized statement detailing whether or not you have been convicted within the last 5 years of assault in the third degree as defined in Section 120
That
of
one I
the
can
Penal Law,
understand, for sure.
menacing as defined in Section 120.15 of the Penal Law, or misdemeanor driving while intoxicated as defined in Section 1192 of the Vehicle and Traffic Law. Next one, a notarized statement detailing whether or not any minors are residing, full-time or part-time, with you. The name and contact information of your current spouse or domestic partner, and any other adults residing.
Okay, so they can refuse you because of your roommate. They can refuse you because of this person. Like, just think about that. Think about how long of a list this would be and how much shit you would have to submit. Now you like they're gonna want to know like everybody that stays with you, everyone that's within your house. What if one of those people has something on their record like no, you're denied type deal, or they can just say, you know what, you have an 8-year-old daughter. We just don't think you should have a gun if you have an 8-year-old daughter. So no, I mean it's crazy, but that's what they're doing.
With you, including adult children. A list of your former and current social media accounts from the past 3 years. A certificate of complete.
And that's crazy because think about that. If they're asking for that, there's people that make tons of different social media accounts all the time. They're trying them. They're on this, they're on that. When they ask you to do something like that, like that's entrapment candy. Because here's the thing: you write down, okay, I have a Facebook, I have a Snapchat, I have a this thing. What if you forget one thing that you have? And you just like you completely forgot that some obscure stupid profile you made on some fucking thing within the past year. If they can find that, they can be like, well, wait, you didn't list this, you lied, you can't have shit now. That's what it's sounding like to me. That is why you make such bullshit criteria with so many freaking things on it to nitpick. You're bound to fail everyone.
Endorsed and affirmed by a duly authorized instructor demonstrating your proficiency in a concealed carry firearm safety training course that complies with Penal Law 419 and the minimum standards for New York State concealed carry firearm safety training promulgated by the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services and the Division of State Police. The minimum standards are available at...
Actually, you know what? Let me correct myself on there. Here, you take a class and you get familiar with everything. And like in Michigan, you take a class, you pay some money. The classes are different. But what he just named off over there, that sounds like they could even be like, you have to take 5 classes or 6 or like something along the lines of that. Is kind of what that just sounded like to me, just so they can try to muddy the waters even more.
Blah, blah, blah. And then listen to this last one. Urine drug testing results from a 12-panel test conducted by a United States Department of Health and Human Services certified laboratory. Such results shall be from a sample that was submitted to the HHS certified laboratory no more than 15 days after the date of this correspondence. Yeah, you gotta take a piss.
The day of this correspondence. Okay. So it's not like you can be like, okay, I'm going to go get, my pistol license or whatever. I'm going to make sure that, my system's clean. No smoking weed this time, like for this month or next month or whatever. You can't do that, right? Well, at least the first wave of people that are doing this, they're not going to be able to do that because they just kind of sprung this out of left field. Nobody has ever heard of taking a freaking piss test to get a pistol license, right? So maybe people going forward in New York trying to get a pistol license are going to know, like, hey, once you fill the paperwork out and whatever, they're going to send you this letter. And the day that you get that letter, you have 15 days to go get a piss test done and send it in to them. Like, I mean, so what is that really going to do? Is that really going to weed out any bad people? The answer is no. It's not, right? Because now anybody going into this they're going to know that there's going to be some kind of stupid drug test thing involved. And people are going to say, okay, make sure to flush out and get clean for a whole month before you do this paperwork. And then they send you the letter a week later. And then you have 15 days to take your drug test. Well, guess what? You've already been completely clean for like a month and a half. You're going to pass any 12-panel test, right? Honestly, really the only way to really do some kind of test like that for this purpose and actually make it be effective or worth even half of a shit would be to do hair testing in this situation. They're not going to do a hair test. Like, I don't know. I'm glad they're not, because it would probably cost a fortune. And of course, they're going to want you to pay for it, or whoever is filling out the paperwork. But that is just nuts. And you can tell that that is just there to deter people, to waste people time. It's not actually there to weed anything out. That's the problem. At the same time, some of these things that they're talking about like the mental health awareness stuff and the different hospitals and stuff like that, I really wouldn't mind. I hope I don't get crucified for this, but I really wouldn't mind if our gun stores around here started asking some questions like that. That's about it, though. Like, that is really about it. And the only reason I say that is because I work in the people field. We'll just say that. And I've seen the best of people. I've definitely seen the worst of people, especially people that are dealing with mental issues. And some of them just flat out, outright should not have a gun. It's just part of the human condition. There's always going to be that 3% of the population that is just wilding out. That's all I can say. And yes, that 3% of the population should never be armed. That's all there is to it. And if we can make it easier to find those people and to make sure that they can't get armed, then that is a good thing. And I honestly believe that would help with massacres all across the board. We'd have less mall shooters, we'd have less school shooters, we would have less shitty people like that. Now, that's just personally my opinion, and it's only one of the small things that we could do. But point being is, back on topic here, that's insane. That is insane. You got to do this, you got to do that. I can't even recite the list that he just went through. Like, I can't. That thing was just so freaking long, and they wanted you to do so much crap that I don't even think I could fully recite the whole thing. Let's see what. It pretty much took him, like, 4 minutes to read through it. Submit this, submit that, that and this. And then when you get this letter, you have to go take a piss test. And here's the thing. You know also, they're going to be absolutely... well, I can tell you right now, you're not going to smoke marijuana and have a carry conceal permit. That's not going to happen. Same thing here in Michigan. There's a lot of people that never went and got a marijuana card, because as soon as you get a marijuana card, you can't have a gun. At least that's what the word was going around here. That's how it's been explained to me multiple times. So I don't know. I never got a marijuana card. So I never really had to worry about that, but I know other people that did, right? So, there's that, right? And I mean, what else? You really probably, sure, you shouldn't be, and sorry. What I was saying is they shouldn't be doing this because people get drugs prescribed to them. So how do you jump through those hoops, right? You have to take a drug test to them to be able to protect yourself and have a firearm. What if you are prescribed some kind of drug or something, right? What if you're a vet or not a vet, sorry. What if you were in a terrible situation and you got shot, you got stabbed, whatever, and you don't feel right and you want to protect yourself now? Well, you can't, because of the meds that the doctors are giving you to recover are going to keep you from being able to get a pistol license, at least in New York. Because I highly doubt that they're going to make exceptions. Maybe they are, but hey, that's just going to be another thing you're going to have to go do now, right? You're also going to have to go back to your doctor, and you're going to have to get a doctor's note for these medications that you're on for their drug test, which your doctor can't even do, right? Because it says that their drug test has to be done by their people. These are also, all of these sound like opportunities, huge opportunities to make more money, right? Your $200 CCW permit just turned into $1,000 if you include all of these steps, right? Right, because they can charge this and that and that and this, and they can charge you a shit ton of money for that drug test that they have to give you. They've pretty much just made up a new job for themselves. So, to me, that's crazy. So why I don't stay out there. So yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I think this is just absolutely nuts. Like I said, the title here just caught me because I wouldn't think that we would really, this would even really be coming up as a serious thing, and I guess it has. It actually has. So, and you never know. There are probably, well, not even probably, there are some dumb political types in other states that are going to be looking at this like, yeah, we need to do that too. Why can't we get some of that? So I know that's going to happen. It's unfortunate because like this is the last shit that we need. Again, let me just kind of reiterate here. They're doing all of this against the Supreme Court ruling for Bruin. So it's not that they're just doing this, they're doing this against a Supreme Court's judgment. So that's kind of what's absurd about it, right? It's like they know that they're going to have to give these permits out. So they're making everything as obscenely stupid as possible now to, just say, okay, well, maybe we do have to give these permits out, but if we make all these hoops, we'll probably only have to give them out to about 15% of the people because we'll be able to reject everybody else, which that in itself, this whole thing, this whole checklist is unconstitutional. I'm sure of it. So can't wait to see what happens with this whole thing. But yeah, let me know what you think of this because I just think it's absolutely wild. Yeah, other than that, enjoy your day and sub to the channel if you want to help out. Later, folks.